Although not as famous as the Golden Gate Park, situated just north of it is the Presidio, which has got an equally interesting collection of trails and museums. It's run by the National Park Service, which hosts a ton of events here. And during the summer, on Sundays, is the Presidio Picnic, which we're going to go to today. Let's head over and chow down. The Presidio has a very long and storied history here in San Francisco. It originally started out as a settlement of the Ohlone Indians. When the Spanish colonized the area, they called it El Presidio de San Francisco, or the Royal Fortress of San Francisco. When California joined the United States, the Presidio became an Army base, and it was one for about 148 years until the National Park Service took it over in 1994. A lot of the old barracks and buildings were turned into housing, museums, and recreational areas. They also built out a ton of wonderful trails for biking, running, and on a day like today, a great post-lunch urban hike. What is a Presidio Picnic, you might ask? Well, it's an event that happens every Sunday from March through October, 11 to 4, and it's held right here at the Presidio's main parade grounds. It's brought to you by the people who do Off the Grid, and this is a giant Off the Grid food truck event. It's very family friendly, and people bring their kids and dogs and spread out a huge picnic blanket and spend all afternoon noshing on delicious food. They have lawn bowling, face painting, and other events for kids, and on the last Sunday of the month, they've got some incredible music dance event going on too. Each weekend, there's a rotating lineup of 25 of the hottest international mobile trucks and restaurants representing. It's a multicultural smorgasbord, so there's something new to discover every week. And there's a bar pouring beer, wine, and mixing up mean cocktails. Or you can BYOB. Senor Sisig is a hugely popular fusion Filipino-Mexican food truck. Tacos and burritos are made using sisig pork, chicken, or tofu. The protein is marinated in soy sauce, vinegar, calamansi limes, and various spices, then grilled. I got a taco with sisig chicken made with dark meat. It's topped with a combo of iceberg lettuce, purple cabbage, and a Mexican crema sauce infused with calamansi lime juice and zest. That's pretty yummy, although I don't know if it's quite blow my mind yummy. The chicken thigh is definitely very, very flavorful. And I like the crema sauce, which has a nice kick to it. I do, however, think it needs a little bit more seasoning, either a little bit more sauce added to the meat, or something to the crema, or some more vegetables, or something. The ume horchata is kind of interesting. So it's a traditional horchata, which is made with rice milk and some cinnamon, and they've added to it some traditional Asian ingredients like a condensed milk and ume, which is like a sour plum. That's pretty delicious. It just tastes like horchata. The ume is not too strong in it, but it's pretty refreshing and it goes really well with this taco. Okay, on to the next food truck. Everyone seemed to have a bowl, so I grabbed one too. Ceviche is a Latin American seafood dish made from fresh fish cured in a citrus marinade. Today's fish is red snapper and there are giant pieces in it. It's garnished with cilantro, red pepper, fresh pineapple, onions, and tomatoes. The marinade is just lime juice and salt. And of course we have to add more lime because you can never have enough citrus, or enough tapatio sauce. A little assembly required here, a bit of fish and some garnish. Pop that in my mouth. That's so delicious. Very fresh, very spicy, especially with the tapatio sauce on it. Love the lemon in that. It's slightly tangy and acidic and really boosts the flavor of the fish. That little bit of sweet pineapple is also great for cutting through the salty and the sour. The garnish is of an awesome texture. That crunch is the perfect complement to the soft firmness of the fish. The whole thing was only $15 and it was chock full of just huge pieces of snapper in it, and there was a lot of it too, so it's a fantastic deal. That's a winner ceviche dinner. For the final course, we have a simple Margarita Pizza. Del Popolo serves beautiful contemporary thin crust pizzas Italian style. Impressively, they're baked to order in the truck. The naturally leavened dough provides air pockets that bake up crisp and nicely blistered. These beautiful pockets got a bit smashed by my paper plate on top, but it still smells heavenly. Yum, that looks super delicious. The crust is super thin, but it's still very nice and soft. The tomato is very fresh and tangy. There's a burst of flavor when you bite into it. There's this nice creaminess from the mozzarella, and then the bit of the sharp herbal from the basil. Delicious, very classic Margarita Pizza. I am so stuffed, I cannot eat another bite. After this, After all of that food, a little exercise is in order. Stop first here at the Presidio Visitor Center, which is right next to the Presidio Picnic, and pick up a map. The area around the parade grounds is known as the main post, and this was the original center of the Presidio as the Spanish had established it. A lot of the buildings around here were erected during the mid-1800s when it changed over to the U.S., including a post office, a hospital, officers' quarters, a fire station, a powder magazine, a theater, a chapel, and other community halls. Right behind me here is what used to be called Pershing's Hall, or the Bachelor Officers' Quarters. It's now been refurbished and turned into a hotel, the Inn at the Presidio. It's a really elegant and historical place to stay here in San Francisco. We are going to pick up the Ecology Trail right behind the inn. Keep to your right at this intersection back here, and the road is going to work its way around, and then we're going to cross this big open area back here. This trail has a diverse sampling of habitats from redwood groves to grasslands. We're going to take a right here and go up to Inspiration Point and check it out first, and then circle back to Arguello Gate. At the top is Inspiration Point with magnificent views of the marina, Alcatraz Island, San Francisco Bay, and Angel Island in the distance. Directly below us is Tennessee Hollow, the park's largest watershed. There's a small side trail before Inspiration Point to Polin Spring, which features a lot of species and interesting historical artifacts. There's also a pretty convenient parking lot up here too if you choose not to walk up. At the Presidio Golf Course, cross the street and continue on the trail to the right. This stand, which was too close together, was recently replanted in a conservation effort. With the old fallen Monterey cypress trunks, British artist Anthony Goldsworthy created this spectacular sculpture called Spire. The structure is meant to evoke the image of a tall church spire. The anchor trunk has a metal sleeve around it and is sunk into a 12-foot deep hole with concrete that's then poured around it. Once you get to Newman Road, hang to your right. We're going to go down here to Cemetery Overlook. Down below us is the National Cemetery, which is a military burial ground that was dedicated on Veterans Day in 2009. It's about 29 acres and sits on prime real estate overlooking the gorgeous Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco Bay. There are plenty of places where you can come sit for a while and do a little contemplation. At this point, you're going to run into the Cavalry Stables and Pet Cemetery behind us here, and when you're done checking it out, head east on Presidio Promenade. These stables were built back in 1914 and had the capacity to house over 500 horses. Additionally, they had a blacksmith workshop and a paddock area. Over the years, as cavalry horses went out of use, these stables were repurposed for other uses. At one point, it was a facility for canine training, and at another point, a vet hospital. It's also why there's a little pet cemetery down there as well. Let's keep on going. Overlooking the San Francisco Harbor are the remains of the Fort Scott batteries, Battery Sherwood and Battery Blaney, that were active in the 1900s to the 1920s. Right across from the National Cemetery is the Korean War Memorial, which was dedicated on August 2016 and built to commemorate all those who fought and died in the Korean War. It honors the men and women of the United States, the Republic of Korea, and the United Nations who fought along with them. And we end here at the Walt Disney Family Museum, which was founded by Walt Disney's daughter, Diane Disney Miller, in memory of her father. While it has state-of-the-art interactive displays that are interesting to the younger generation, it also has a whole trove of historical archival documents that the adults will love. And we are back at the main post. That was just a little taste of the Presidio, a little bit of food, and a little bit of flora and fauna. Hope you had a great time and take an opportunity to come explore Presidio next time that you're down here. Until next time, peace.